If Bitcoin can't break above this key level that I'm going to be identifying very shortly, then Bitcoin has a great chance of going to the dustbin. Now, with that being said, we're going into the tariffs tomorrow, and it's Liberation Day for the United States. So this video is just going to break down exactly what you need to know about Bitcoin price action and how you can prepare yourself for the volatility that's going to hit the markets tomorrow. So let's get with the program, ladies and gentlemen. So in front of you is Bitcoin's behavior, and it's done really well today, to say the least. And it's made a nice little stop run to make the reversal to the upside. Happy days. Now, we had this move covered today when we were trading alongside everyone in the Platinum membership. And this was our projection for Bitcoin today. We were looking for Bitcoin to try and make a little bit of a reversal to then bounce from this range to make the move to the upside. Okay. And we didn't quite get the actual price target that we wanted, which was 86,189. We ended up seeing Bitcoin going all the way up towards 85,492, which is why I'm always saying to the guys, always pay yourselves, because you don't know when the market is going to turn. We managed to have a bit of fun on the NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ today did great for us, and we managed to exploit this move to the upside. We had caught a significant low, and I was sharing with the guys that I was buying options in this point, and the actual options trade itself was right here. So I'll just quickly bring that up for you. So in front of you is my options play that I did today, and we managed to see a nice little return on that bad boy. It was a nice £5,771, and we opened at 81.2, and we closed off at 246.1 on the calls. So we actually did really well with regards to that on the NASDAQ, and we exploited this range right here, which was the nice reversal to the upside. But the real reason why I was entering in these areas is because I was paying attention to the options, but more importantly, the one aspect, which is what I'm going to talk about right now with Bitcoin, was the block trade principle. I paid close attention to this range right here. And the block trade principle says that the market's memory is going to trigger when price enters into a zone that it had previously made a move from. Some of you might think of it as maybe a bounce from a support area or fair value gaps, whatever you want to call it. But fundamentally, this area here where the green vector candle came into play was the point where markets, or should I say the market maker, was offering price to build his shorts at the highest possible point whilst inducing retail traders to believe that the rally is on. Okay? And that's what happened right here. If you notice, the hybrid system focuses on the block trade principle being the market's memory. The market's memory was here, and the market's memory got triggered over here. Look at the green vector candle. That's a clue for me to tell me that if price can sustain itself at the top side of this vector candle block, then the market's memory in principle is going to repeat what it did before. And that's what had happened on the NASDAQ. And that's where we were able to exploit that move to the upside. We did have the projection for the Platinum members, which I believe was right here. And we wanted to see NASDAQ try and clear out the range. And you can see that she only managed to make it towards, it wasn't that high actually. She only went towards 19,645. And we'd originally wanted 19,863. So it did make the drop and then the reversal to sweep up and make that move to the upside. So with that being said, the block trade principle came through. So what am I making reference to with Bitcoin? I'm talking about this block trade right here. In front of you is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, and we have one vector candle, which could give us a clue as to whether or not going into the tariffs tomorrow, if Bitcoin can sustain this range and the market's memory repeats itself like it did on the NASDAQ today, the idea is that Bitcoin could surpass this point and continue higher. We go and have a look at the bids and the offers. Whoa, we go and have a look at the bids and the offers. It says there 7,612 traders got liquidated today. That's sad days. Looking at the offers, you can see that there is quite a few people wanting to sell Bitcoin, maybe in time for the tariffs. But we've also got a lot of guys trying to bid Bitcoin at price ranges at 80,000 all the way up towards the actual 84,000. So it looks like they don't want to miss out on a potential continuation higher on Bitcoin. Now, as we look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, these are the two price points that you need to take into consideration. If from now until the moment of the tariffs, if investors don't like what they're hearing from Trump, and Bitcoin cannot surpass above this 80,500, then ladies and gentlemen, it's back down we go. Regardless of whatever analytics are coming out or whatever Bitcoin is showing in terms of a cycle or the rainbow or whatever's going on with whales, clear as day on this chart right here, it looks like they're prepared to buy Bitcoin on the cheap. So just be careful tomorrow when you're trading, because the volatility will be high. Just to quickly summarize what's happened today, the data that's come out has given us a little bit of an understanding on what we can expect moving forward. Contraction in the manufacturing sector, 49.0 from a reading of 49.5. This tells us now that the Federal Reserve is getting data on the economy slowing down. That's good news. Why? Because it means they're going to cut the rates. Going into the jobs data at 7.57 million, contraction in the offering of jobs. That means what? Less people working, not enough people spending. The Fed needs to do something about it. Cut the rates. ISM manufacturing prices have come in higher. Why is that a problem? Because it means that inflation can effectively get more fuel to go back up again. So you can see that the Fed is getting data right now to grant the idea of cutting the interest rates. Yeah, the actual bets for the Fed itself aren't really giving us that. People are expecting that the Fed is going to keep in line with their expectations at 4.25 and 4.5% on the interest rate. So even though they're saying that we're going to get cuts, investors are betting that they're going to keep things exactly as they are. Now, quickly going back into Bitcoin, just to put it into perspective for you. Looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, you can see that, just as I mentioned a moment ago, with regards to the block trade principle. Now, what we're waiting for is the start of the new daily candle to come into play. You notice the 5 and 13 EMA right here. It looks like it's going to try and make a little bit of a move to the upside. The tariff story itself is going to compromise Bitcoin if it cannot succeed above 87,500. All I'm saying to you guys is this. Wait until the tariff story comes out. Even if Bitcoin does shoot up to the upside, the second it pulls back, that's going to give you more confidence in saying that, you know what, I'm going to go long on Bitcoin or maybe buy Bitcoin on spot because the tariff story isn't as bad as they made it out to be. Will Trump be lenient in tomorrow's announcement regarding the tariffs, or is he going to go to town and make sure everyone is taxed till the end of time? If we do get that scenario where Trump is just ruthless and he doesn't care, because he did say that he doesn't care if car automakers' prices do go up, then the market's not going to enjoy that. And anything that you've witnessed to the upside today in Bitcoin will more than likely come back down and everyone will be buying Bitcoin on the cheap. Would it be safe to say that whales are satisfied with this amount of accumulation? Well, let's just go and look at the chart for a split second. Look how much time they spent accumulating in this range. They were accumulating from March 13th, all the way going across to the breakout at November 7th. Okay. Is this enough accumulation? Would it be safe to say that they've been accumulating enough Bitcoin inside a short range? That means the less accumulation, the less further Bitcoin's going to move to the upside. And if tomorrow's announcements with the tariffs is going to be a problem for investors, investors will get out of the stock market. They will just continue to just drop price. NASDAQ will come back down and fully recover this green vector candle, probably even come down to 17,750 if they do not like what's going on with the tariffs tomorrow. Hopefully, Trump is a little bit lenient and he makes life a little bit easier for everyone. But fundamentally, if he's coming in with the aggression and he's going to tax everyone, the markets won't like it. Neither will Bitcoin. Now, if you haven't done so already, get yourself involved in the Platinum membership. Why? You'll get access to this PDF library. This PDF library is filled with checklists that I've created regarding various strategies in the hybrid system. Now, the one that we're discussing in this video is the block trade principle, and that's on checklist part 7. Part 7 shows you the block trade principle right there, and it dives into everything you need to be aware of in order to use the block trade principle. Remember, this is based on the market's memory, and all the information is inside of this checklist that I've created so that you can have it by your side, whether you are trading Bitcoin, NASDAQ, any asset out there, okay? You can utilize the block trade principle and, more importantly, trade it on any time frame. The actual checklist breaks down what you need to be aware of when you're trading on smaller time frames, but the higher the time frame, the more information you get about the block, which is going to sustain the idea as to whether or not Bitcoin is going to succeed and clear out this key range. Because if it can clear out this key range and you do see a vector candle breaking away from this point, the block trade would in principle have been activated because the market's memory would have said, yep, we like this point. We're going to start selling again, and assets or price of Bitcoin will start moving up from this point. But if we get into the tariffs tomorrow and we don't hear what we want to hear, this block trade right here could end up becoming resistance. Let's hope that's not the case. Mad love and respect. Peace.